UT Martin was host to the 2005 Tennessee Gospel Singing Convention. And one of the things that made this gathering special is that the voices were raised with the tradition and style of shape note singing.
Shape note, of course, is a traditional type singing. Started back in, I would say, early 1800s, 1900s. They have sacred harp singing, which is using 4 syllables. In shape note singing, we use 7. And what's the difference between what we do basically in a lot of our churches now is just, and we read lines and spaces. You know, of course, shape notes are on the lines and spaces too. It's easier to read. You don't even have to have lines and spaces to sing shape notes. You could just have the shape on a piece of page and sing it.
Congregational and choral singing came over from England with the colonists. To improve their skills, singing schools were established and were especially popular in the South. These schools used a new method, shape notes, first published in the 1801 Easy Instructor by William Little and William Smith. The system used 4 distinctive note shapes to represent the 4 syllables, or the fa, sol, la, mi music scale of the era. Sometimes the musical staff was left out entirely.
People that sing shape note music are excellent music readers. And some of our kids that have gone to college and majored in music sometimes are like 2 years ahead of the others in sight reading abilities, because they've had this experience in reading music and reading shapes. And like he said, they call out a number you've never seen it before, and you open that book and you read it. Sight read it on the spot.
In the early 1800s, Southern singing masters compiled their own music. By 1860, more than 30 sacred songbooks with shape notes were available. One of the most popular was Southern Harmony by William Walker. It sold 600,000 copies between 1835 and the beginning of the Civil War. Designed for a cappella singing, Sacred Harp was published in 1844 by Georgia singing masters B.F. White and E.J. King. Sacred Harp is still in print today.
We sing out of 5 or 6 different books, keeping in mind most all of these songs most people have not seen before. Only a handful that you've seen, but You walk into singing, you sit down, you have a book, the leader gets up and says whatever page number, say 92, and everyone turns to 92. You may have never seen that song before, but because you can read the do, re, mi's, you can read that type of music, you can sing that song and never seen it before. And that's what the true art is of the do, re, mi singing.
After the Civil War, singing schools continued in the South, and new teaching techniques introduced the 7-shape or do-re-mi system. The singing schools also provided a way for young people to socialize and are remembered by some as part of their courting days.
That is our personal heritage. Our grandfather, who had 7 children and raised them right during the Depression years and thereafter, one of the ways he fed his family, so to speak, is he taught 10-night singing schools. And he would get in the horse and buggy and he would travel to churches and stay 10 days, 2 weeks at a time teaching music schools. And in turn, his children, as they grew, they taught music schools in different churches all across the state of Tennessee and in different states. So it's just been part of our heritage, and it's why it's so special just to us personally.
The remaining schools are no longer operated full-time, but there are several throughout Tennessee and the Mid-South. The schools and conventions like this one are a way of teaching church musicians and also passing this style of music down to new generations.
This was the 3rd time out of 72 years that it's been in West Tennessee. It's usually in Middle Tennessee and East Tennessee. And the first year, I believe it's 1935, it was in Jackson, Tennessee. And then 1991, it was in Martin on campus of UTM. Wesley Perkins was the president. And then again, 2005, we've had it at UT Martin.
When I go back to my home church and I lead music on Sunday morning, we have the celebration hymnal, which is not written in the do-re-mi's. It's written in the round note music. And so therefore, I have to adapt back to that, the fact that, you know, I'm reading C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I'm reading those notes. There is no shape notes. So it's adaptable, it's interchangeable, but the do-re-mi's is just our heritage that we grew up on, and it's things that where we came from.